Hello everyone, welcome back to the Solar Butterfly Outdoor Studio in Amsterdam. This is the fourth and final interview of the day. We're very excited to have Sven here with us from Climate Cleanup and with his son. What's your name? Hoe heet je?
Lovel.
Lovel.
Lovel. Okay, so Lovel and Sven. Sven, tell me, you work for a company or an organization called Climate Cleanup. What is it about?
Yeah, foundation and social venture. We reverse climate change by removing carbon dioxide with nature and people.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, we better make it true, considering where we are.
Using nature to remove carbon dioxide from the air.
Yeah.
What are some of the projects or some of the ways that you're doing this?
Yeah, to reverse climate change, we need to stop emissions like this and remove carbon from the atmosphere. Now, nature can still do this. There are some pathways, some, not all, that are definitely scalable if we work with nature. And third, there's a group of entrepreneurs who are already doing that. They're building buildings from bio-based materials like wood and straw. They are growing seaweed like in the open oceans, which can sequester so much carbon you have no idea. They're regenerating the soils. They are working with enhanced weathering, the oldest natural climate solution. So all those different things taken together, and what we do, find systemic interventions to make them into a sector.
Okay.
Those entrepreneurial
systemic interventions.
Systemic interventions.
What does that mean?
It means you look at the complexity of the situation we're in. You realize or you acknowledge that it's a complex, that we're operating in complex systems, as nature does. You know, a tree, if you look at a tree, you see all those leaves, and when spring comes, now it's summer, all those leaves, at one magic moment, they start at the same time.
Yeah.
How do they do that? It's a complex system of all kind of different. Sometimes it's earlier in the season, sometimes it's later, and that's just a tree. Well, just a tree. So also our human economic natural systems, they are definitely complex systems, especially at these times we are living now. So, but that doesn't mean you can't work with it. You can dance with systems when you try to understand the dynamics. So, to make, obviously we're going to make a new economic sector out of these people and entrepreneurs who are removing carbon. Because it's either World War III and collapse, which is definitely possible at the moment, or this is going to be like the biggest sector ever.
The sector, again, you would call it carbon sequestration, or what do you call this sector that you're talking about?
Well,
what's the
we call
word?
it the new nature economy.
New nature economy. Okay.
It's a name. It's an emerging name, an emerging sector, the regenerative sector, you might say. And we're seeing all kind of like starting points, like regenerative farming. It's a thing.
So what we talked about with Xavier earlier would be regenerative farming, regenerative forestry, things like that?
That's the basis of it. But the thing is, when you look at buildings, the regenerative farmers also, what are they growing actually? They're growing food and they're growing the materials. So it's...
You mean materials used for construction?
Materials used for construction. This little table, it's got a it looks like wood. Is it wood?
I think so.
Yeah, some woodish.
Woodish.
Well, so it's been a tree. This tree has been removing carbon, sequestering carbon, growing itself from carbon. Seaweed, same thing. Rocks that weather, they remove carbon, they sequester carbon. And so growing our materials, obviously we're moving from a fossil-based economy based on old plants, oil, and also the energy. So our energy and materials came from that. We're moving to an economy that's based on new plants. There's no other way.
We completely agree with that.
Yeah,
we have to figure out a way to stop.
Much other life. So.
We have to figure out a way to stop producing this CO2. We have to figure out a way to remove what we already have in there. I had heard Linda talk earlier about a certain number of how many gigatons there are of CO2 in the atmosphere that we need to take back out.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, if you look at nature, all the plants and trees contain now about 1,500 gigaton of CO2.
1,500.
What used to be CO2. It's now a tree. 1,500, 1,500 gigatons. And the nice thing is, if you look what is needed to balance, rebalance our atmosphere, we need to remove exactly
The same number? Okay.
1,500 gigatons.
Okay. Okay.
1,500 gigatons.
And so that's what you're trying to do
Well,
with the different initiatives that you're supporting.
it is. It's what we will do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I noticed the difference there.
Yeah.
Not trying, but what we will do.
No,
and
what
what
are
has
we
to be
gonna
done.
tell him?
Right.
What are we going to tell this guy? You know.
Mhm.
So we are doubling nature. Anyone understands? We were at a school a month ago, and everyone understands double nature.
Mhm.
Trees and plants contain 1,500 gigaton. By doubling nature, we remove another 1,500. And the thing is, it's not about doing less. I mean, we will fly less. We will eat different things.
Yeah.
Will be shorter showers. Well, maybe that's just dirty. We don't need more. We don't. It's the nice thing about doubling nature is it's about doing more, building a new economy that consists of doing other things.
It's the focus on something more than rather than doing less. It's doing more nature.
Right. So we very much we see this energy with this group of people who are already working on these things, and our life has really gone from a climate depression, like pretty severe, like 10 years ago, to right now kind of riding this wave of energy of people who are already like embodying this new economy, like what you're doing here. You know, you get tired at the end of the day, but it gives, you must recognize it. It brings so much energy to build a new world. So that's what we're doing.
I like that. For me, that sticks, that idea of doubling nature, that idea of sort of doubling the impact that the nature is able to do in terms of binding carbon to pull it back out of the atmosphere, and then create another, a more healthy environment for all of us.
Carbon is life, huh? Carbon is your hand.
Right.
It's carbon.
Yeah, sure.
We are carbon. So to bring that back home is really
to balance it back
out.
Life.
Bring back life. We've been killing life. Like 60% of the insects at least are gone. 90% of the big fish in sea, they're gone.
That's crazy.
You know, bringing back life is about bringing home carbon. So it sounds like carbon because people are now talking about it. This is really about embracing life and bringing it back.
Yeah. I just talked about last week with an entrepreneur about regenerating humus and the way that humus, the top soil layer, and how that's sequestering carbon. Or for example, tomorrow we're meeting with Sea Shepherd, also talking about, of course, all of the missing fish carbon, shall we say, in the seas. So where can people find out more about what you're doing?
Climatecleanup.org.
Climatecleanup.org.
That's a good start.
So,
and with Paul Hawken and his team, we're now bringing regeneration, new book, to the Netherlands and into Europe. So it's maybe at regeneration.guide or something.
Okay. I remember I heard that word name as well, Paul Hawken, Hawken. Also very interesting, quite a leading thinker on this area. So encourage everybody to look at that. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your time and patience today. Yeah, dank je wel. And thank you for inviting us here and having us and hosting us. So it's been a great afternoon altogether.
It's an honor. You're super welcome.
Thank you, Sven. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.